trophy for his first ever PBA title. And Anthony Simonson is 18 years old. So kudos to him. So Anthony, you're not 21 yet, so that means you can't gamble. That means you also cannot enjoy adult beverages. And you are surrounded by gambling and adult beverages. So, what do you do in your off time here in Reno?
This week I've been doing a little bit of watching the opposite squad. When they ball in the morning, I'm trying to do a little bit of sleeping. If I'm not over here watching, I've been hanging out with Kyle True, Connor Pickford, Z, just a couple guys hanging out in their room. A guy named David Shin brought his Xbox 360, so we've been getting a little bit of video gaming in.
Yeah, and it was hard to pry him away from the video games tonight.
She talked me into it.
Alright, so let's ask the question then. What's your favorite video game? What are you playing right now?
We've been playing Black Ops 2 throughout the week. I'm a big fan of the FIFAs. Grew up playing soccer a little bit. It's always been something I really like to do.
Blair, do you play any video games?
I am awful at video games. Like, really. I'm just terrible. I actually, even Wii bowling, I managed to not be very good at.
Now, you know, I have a funny Wii bowling story. So, in a former life, I actually designed bowling balls for a manufacturer, and I had a customer call in, and they said, "Hey, I bought one of your bowling balls, and I want to return it." And I said, "Okay, well, what's wrong with it?" And they said that the ball is defective because they couldn't strike like they struck on Wii bowling. That was literally their complaint. They're like, "Well, no, I strike all the time on Wii bowling, and with this bowling ball that I bought from you guys, there's something wrong with it because I don't strike." So that was fairly interesting conversation, to say the least.
You got Stu on one of the extra things here.
Yeah, Beef Stew's actually talking to JT Axon Jackson because JT Axon Jackson got counted with a foul, and Stu is actually kind of reffing whether or not the foul is legit for JT.
Stu's also throwing that eternal. And it's funny because I did a video with Stu this morning, and he was talking about his, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, so I mean, JT threw a shot, and JT threw a shot, and the foul light went off, and then he did not move. He stayed right where he was at, and he said, "Well, hey, look, I don't think I fouled." So he asked Stu, who's right next to him, to come over and take a look at whether or not he had fouled. So
looks like the foul is thing, though.
Yeah, the foul is still there, and JT will recover with a nice spare. Giving Stu the stank eye for sure. See if we can get maybe a little image there of the. They're talking a little bit about it, give each other a little razzle about it. Anyway, so you're watching Game 5 of 9, and on this pair, on 27 and 28, we've got Don Allen III, Beef Stew, who's on the Storm Roto-Grip staff, right?
Yes.
Junior Yoshida and Pat Nolan. And on 25 and 26, I see Sean Maldonado just got himself a little strike there. Lee Vanderhoff, Anton Agren, and Diego Shayato.
Good work.
Glad Ron's doing the pronouncing of the name.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a little secret about that, right? I probably just chopped up their names completely. But I've learned that if you're going to chop it up with confidence. Because that way, people will question it. So I apologize to the players if I did chop up your name. I will definitely be more than happy to pronounce your name correctly if I could pronounce it incorrectly. See me as soon as we are done.
Definitely got Junya right. PBA Japan Region Director, Junya Yoshida, who also complimented my Japanese this week.
He did, and Jeff is one of the guys that you have to be really careful for because he knows all these different languages. Obviously, he's fluent in English, but he speaks. We had Patrick Girard here yesterday speaking French, and they're all having some sort of French conversation. I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. But they're having a great conversation. And then Junya came in the booth, and him and Junior were talking in Japanese, and I did know how to pronounce Junior's name because I had met Junior before. We actually had talked, we had some conversations. I've been to Japan, so I knew I wasn't going to chop his name up because I had actually heard the correct way to pronounce it. But yeah, so Jeff knows all these different languages, and it's kind of cool to be able to work alongside him because sometimes when the players come to the fair, I will wait and let Jeff announce them so that I can get a feel for what the correct pronunciation is of their name. So I'm an engineer, man. Like I'm an engineer, bro. You want to talk about math? You want to talk about science, technology, engineering, STEM, as it's called? I'm your guy. You want to talk about English? You want to talk about literature? You want to talk about pronunciation? You talk about acronyms? I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. But I am willing to get better. I'm willing to work at it. And as long as I got Jeff by my side, I know I'm going to be a good teacher.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, the World Series bowling, you definitely have players from all over the world, and you'll be walking through it. You'll walk past conversations you don't understand. It's pretty cool. I think that's cool.
Look at these two. Get it done. Oh, messenger in front of the tent.
He had a gameplay going in today, and it looks like he's using that plan because he wanted to use his Eternal today.
So here's another one of these things that I've learned, right? When you, and being a broadcaster. So like 2 days ago I said, Steve Williams, he's from England.
Yeah.
Well, he may be from England, but he lives in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So,
hang on.
Spare ball straight.
You see a lot of spare balls out here.
Yep, spare ball straight.
Need to make sure that you make those spares count. That is key.
So, before we wrap this up, we got some more guests to bring in the booth. Blair, is there anybody you want to say hello to or shout out to?
Well, I did get a message from Brian Regan back home, and he asked me if I like chicken or beef tacos. I like chicken tacos. But my sister's watching, so hey to her. And then got some messages. Everyone at Storm, thanks again for all your support. I know that Lindsay Boomershine's out there watching. I'm sure Hank's watching with her. Chris Schlemmer is out there. So thanks so much. And Bill and Barb, we really appreciate all that you do for all of us.
And Anthony, you have any shout outs you want to give?
I do not, actually. And I guess I can do the same shout out to Storm and Roto Group team. It's a pleasure to be on the team, and I enjoy working with them and looking forward to many, many more years with them.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us in the booth. You're watching live coverage of Game 5 of 9 of the PBA Chameleon Championship. We are going to take a quick break, bring in some new guests, have some more conversation. So sit back, relax, and watch a little bit more.
Skylar, she shouted out to you. Yeah, but she didn't say your name. She said, shout out to my sister because I know she's watching. Well, for